Happy Miracle Monday. This is Dawn Petalino, your transformational coach. And on Miracle Monday, what I do is I help bring to you the tools and the truths that help to remind you of who you really are, what your power really is, and where it lies, because it makes all the difference in the world and the reality you experience. So today's truth is about working from within to create changes without. The Course of Love, and I talk a lot about the Course of Love and A Course in Miracles. And if you like that, you can look those books up or check out my website, www.dawnpetalino.com. The Course of Love tells us that changes within affect changes without, not the other way around. See, a lot of times we think if we want to change how we feel, we have to change the things in our life. But that is not true. That's a falsehood. That's living as a human being. But you are a spiritual being, first and foremost, wearing these clothes that we have to work with, which can be very awkward at times, right? But what the Course of Love tells us is you do have a power. But it is not the power that you think of when you think of details and information. No, this is a power of certainty. This is a power that your heart realizes, your heart knows. It's a knowing that your heart knows without any proof. It is a deep certainty that you will feel. And this is what we previously lacked, is this certainty whenever we would want something in our lives. So how do you know that you're living in a state of grace? When you've reached this certainty, this rock solid certainty that it's independent of anything outside in your world. And if you're not experiencing this, the Course of Love tells us that all that is needed is your willingness. Are you willing to trust? Are you willing to trust your capital S self, your source? So I invite you to do an experiment. To do an experiment is to get still, to focus on your heart, to soften your heart, and to do an experiment to allow yourself for just a few moments, even a minute, to experience joy, safety, freedom, love. Experience it and give yourself permission to just experience it until your heart begins to swell and soften. Now you've connected to a higher frequency. You see, your spiritual self, your energetic, spiritual, non-physical self, your spirit, operates at wiser, unified, harmonious frequencies of love, of joy, of peace. And every time we take a risk to feel one of those things, we are actually raising our own frequency in spite of our conditions, because remember, it has to come from within. And when we raise ourselves, the reason your heart starts to swell is because you've connected to that spirit inside of you. And now you're seeing the world the way it truly is. Now, this is the interesting thing. When we're feeling that love, that joy, that peace, because we're coming from this higher frequency, we're working with a different realm. This is not the realm of form. This is the realm of spirit, of energy. And when we deal with that realm, things start to look beautiful. They start to become unified. And things happen miraculously, spontaneously. But this power is coming from this field, from this beauty, from this field of love, source, the quantum field. It's not coming from the individual. You're just plugging back in to who you are. It's like, kind of like going to the mothership, you know? You're plugging back in and you're just taking a risk to feel it. And I invite you to take that risk, do that experiment, to allow yourself the chance to just feel love or joy or peace in spite of any circumstance, and see what happens when your heart softens to that. First of all, begin to feel it. Begin to allow yourself to feel it more and more, and do an experiment. Can this affect my world? As A Course of Love says, I wonder if I can affect this situation by not worrying about it, which means if I go to peace, which, by the way, is what this whole book, Peace, Power, and Miracles, that's my story, my experience of the miraculous power that comes from peace, because we're elevating our frequency to the one power of the universe, that of the miraculous, and that of a higher frequency, a higher energy. And that feels like home because it's really who we are. We become these selfless, loving, creative, generous beings because it's who we naturally are. So I invite you to try that experiment. It'll take some practice, but stand back and watch and see what difference might this make in my life. Happy Miracle Monday. I look forward to seeing you next week. If you'd like to find out more about events related to this topic, meditations, blogs, information, you can check out my website, www.dawnpetalino.com. Have a miraculous Monday and just give it a shot. See what happens. Bye for now.